Hello guys, this is a review of the movie Can You Keep a Secret, featuring Alexandra Daddario and Tyler Hoechlin. I hope that's how you pronounce his name. The movie is about, and I just bought it and I think it's new. Let me see if I could find the year real quick. Yeah, 2019. It's a new movie. The movie is about a marketing manager played by Alexandra Daddario. Her name is Emma, and she's going on a flight back from Chicago. And she sits, when you go on the plane and then for some reason they have vacant seats and they could let you move to first class. That's happened to me before. I don't really know why, but yeah, this happened to her, and she's sitting next to another just random guy, and the airplane, while they're flying, they start experiencing turbulence, heavy winds. It's just rocking them, and she's so paranoid. She's drinking. She just had a meeting with some very important people, and she she failed so hard. They sell some energy drinks, and while she was promoting the energy drink, let me hold something so that it doesn't look too weird. She was like, and this is just a good product, and we could reach people, and this and that, and then she just opens it and splashes all over the people there at the meeting, their face. And yeah, she's just having a very bad time. She needs a raise, she needs a promotion, and it doesn't look like she's gonna get it based on her performance. And she's right there, she feels like she's gonna die, like this is the end, so might as well just let my feelings out, right? So she starts talking to the stranger. She tells him everything, like her roommate, like how she had this sex dream about her roommate, how every time her coworkers like, oh, let's go work on some numbers, they're not gonna work on any numbers. It's just a way for them to go and take a break, get some coffee, relax. So many things. I was looking, it's not rated, so if I had to rate it, it'd probably be PG-13, very heavy, or a very light rated R. I don't know. It just sounds like it has some adult topics, but it's not really like that, it could pass for PG-13, a very heavy, borderline PG-13, on the borderline between that and rated R, I mean. So yeah, she's right there. She's telling him everything, how she doesn't like like her coworkers, and how she has never experienced intimacy the way that she wants to. She gets very much into detail with it, a lot of things, and he's just right there listening, like, okay. And then she goes back, and her boss, played by Laverne, she's pretty good. Actually, it's probably the first movie that I've watched with her. I heard of the Rocky Horror Picture Show remake. I'm not gonna watch that. I mean, it's not for me. It does not look good in my opinion. But I liked her performance here, and she's like the boss of them, and she's letting them know, hey, the CEO is coming over here. His name is Jack, so you guys better be on your best behavior. Please do your best. Don't mess it up. And everybody's like, oh, okay, so it's this guy, but he walks in. By the way, because the other, there were, I believe, 2 people in charge, and one of them passed away. They were like brothers, and Jack is the only one left. So he walks in and was like, hey guys, this is Jack. And he's like, that's the guy that sat next to her. So the whole time that they were on the plane, and she was just letting out all her innermost feelings, doubts, worries, fears, everything. This was the guy that was absorbing all of that. And he happens to be the CEO of the company that she works for, so. And slowly but surely, they start talking. They're like, okay, engage in conversation. He kind of like jokes around with what she said during the plane ride, but keeping it nice, keeping it smooth. At some point, she breaks up with her boyfriend, because she also had a boyfriend who she criticized heavily, and he asks her on a date. She accepts. They have a lot of fun, but she realizes that he's just like not opening up, and there are just some red flags here and there, some suspicious things going on. For example, he's talking about a plan B, and like he asked her to promise him that she won't mention that he was in Chicago because nobody's supposed to know that he was there. The plan B involves Chicago for some reason. Nobody knows anything, not the characters, not us as the audience. And everything just comes falling down after they build this very good relationship. They know they like each other. He goes on air for an interview about his products, and he starts talking about that girl. He's like, what are these products for? Or who is the audience, the intended audience for these products? The interviewer asks him, and he responds, for that girl that dresses this way, that thinks this way, does that, and is just literally describing her, everything about her. He's letting out everything that he's ever told him on air live. And the people at the office, except for their boss, everybody laughs at her. They make fun of her. They look very childish, but honestly, I've seen a lot of adults like that. So I believe that it happens. And she starts crying. She runs away, and he starts calling her. And she lives with two roommates that are very, very silly, very different type of women, very interesting characters. And one of them is telling her, you better get revenge. I know a guy who works like, tabloids, so you could maybe get a little dirty secrets out of him. What do you know? And she starts saying, I don't know, something about Chicago. And the other one's like, no, we don't want revenge. Anyway, she gets to talk to him after that incident at like, I think it's like a diner or a bar. And he explains, he's like, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean harm with it, but... And she's like, well, tell me stuff about you. This whole time, this relationship has been one-sided. I've been telling you everything. You haven't been telling me nothing at all. And he's a little adamant to open up at that moment, but there's another one where her roommate, who's a lawyer, is having a dance at a theater. And she goes there, he meets up with her, and he opens up to her. He tells her, the only thing that she knew about him was that, like, defect was that he had like a deformation in his feet, like kind of webbed feet, something like that. And he starts opening up about other things, how he hides a bat on the bottom of his bed, because below his bed, because he's afraid of the dark, and this, and like all these like just natural human fears and doubts. So he explains to her that the big secret that he didn't like want anybody to know, that only a handful of people know and could know, is that his like brother, best friend, the other owner that passed away, he had a daughter, and they don't want to blow the cover. They want to keep her out of the light. They want her to live a normal life, to be happy without people taking pictures, asking questions. And so he tells her the secret, and that's when the other roommate at the end of the dance, she comes in with the guy who works for the tabloids, and he's like, where's the guy? Like, tell me about him. What do you know? Like, people have to know what's going on. What's the secret? And he's like, so this whole time you set me up. And that's another problem that arises, but it's quickly resolved because they're flying back. And honestly, I kind of got lost at that point. I don't know where my mind was. I don't know if they were flying to Chicago or something like that. Anyway, by that point, she had already asked for a promotion, and she received it because she came up with this very good idea to target an elderly audience, which another coworker was trying to take credit for, but she was like, nope, that was my idea, and the boss gave her the promotion. But at that point, it's near the end where I'm talking about that they're taking a plane somewhere. And she explains herself. She apologizes. She says, I didn't tell him anything. I wasn't planning on doing it. I was really hurt. That's what my roommate suggested, and blah blah blah. Things get like Well, here's the thing. That those secrets that I told you that he starts telling her, he doesn't tell her at the theater. At the theater, that's where I'm messing up. Yeah, okay, blah, 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 blah. Talking back. I'm a human. I make mistakes. We all do. Don't judge me. Anyway, this guy tells her about the very, very important secret in Chicago, which is the daughter of his friend who passed away. And then on the plane ride, after she apologizes, saying he believes her, and he starts opening up about every other thing. And they make up. And the movie ends. It's a nice movie. It has its funny scenes. It's entertaining, and it's like I remember writing the lyrics to a song based on an experience I had that is not as wonderful as this and majestic, but it's just kind of interesting how life works for different people at different times, and you have similar ideas. I remember telling this person so many things about my life in a matter of minutes, like waiting to use a restroom at. I don't want to get too much information, but yeah. And you don't realize why you do these things as humans, and you have this idea, and then I made it into a song, and then somebody came up with this idea. It's based on the best-selling novel by Sophie Kinsella, so Sophie had this idea, and that I think that made me enjoy it a little bit more. And obviously Alexandra Daddario stars in it. I really like her. I've bought a bunch of movies from her. I've watched movies from her. I remember at a friend's house we watched one with her and what's his name? Gosh, from Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates. Not Zac Efron, but the other one. I forgot. I apologize. Very good actor. But I didn't like that one, and I didn't like the other one. I think it was called Baked in Brooklyn. It wasn't bad. Maybe I'll buy it again. I kind of sold it. But yeah, Alexandra Daddario, I'm really looking forward to reviewing more movies from her because I have plenty more. I give this movie a rating of 6. Yeah, a 6, maybe 6.5, but I'm gonna go more with the 6 out of 10. It's good. It's not bad, but it's not like ooh type of movie. I recommend it. I'm gonna keep it, so I recommend it. Thank you for watching.